To me, it's been good, and I think most of what we are covering it's
Mhm.
practical because I also do some of marketing where I'm working,
That's very
so
nice.
I can relate.
Okay, nice to know that.
Uh,
So are you doing something of your own, or you're working with someone?
I'm working with the hotel. I'm in the hospitality industry,
Wow.
so I'm the front office
Mm.
manager. Yeah.
So I'm glad to know that because I'm someone, as I mentioned that day, I'm someone who is also into tourism domain. I'm basically a scholar and a teacher of tourism. So tourism in hospitality is one of my uh, major interest areas.
Wow, that's so nice to know
Yeah.
because we our hotel is at the lakeside, one
Oh,
of Malawi's tourism destination area.
okay.
That's Mangochi. We
Mangauchi.
are along Lake Malawi. Yeah,
Okay. So
so,
you belong to which country?
Malawi.
Malawi. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice.
Mm.
Let us start in next 2 minutes. So other participants are joining, then we'll start our discussion. Okay, so good afternoon and good evening to all of you. All of you are there. Okay, so as a usual practice, let us first start with discussing the things which we had actually covered yesterday. So, as a part of block two, so we have discussed some of the things which are related to marketing management and the major decisions areas of marketing. If I talk about, so they were focused upon product and pricing, right? So I just want to know your understanding about the things which we have discussed yesterday, right? So like the session is open to for you. You can tell me what are the things which were discussed yesterday. I don't want much details about it. Maybe the things which you could remember from where we have started and what are the things which we have covered yesterday, right? So yeah, anyone would like to take a call?
I can start. I think
Yeah.
we did product placement
Okay.
uh, where you said is the acceptability of the product on the market,
Mm-hmm.
uh, which we had. It was know the use of the product, the simplicity,
Mm-hmm.
it offers, and
Mm-hmm.
the placement of the product on the market. Then we went to the product levels, which
Uh-huh.
had five,
Mm-hmm.
were five stages. I,
Uh-huh.
I think so. We had the core product, generic, expected product.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I can remember three out of five.
No, no, that is fine. That's completely okay.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So,
Mm,
okay. So one thing is for sure. First, you started with an understanding like what is product all about, right? And then we talked about what is the meaning of product, and then we talked about how you can place a product. Why we discuss that? Because that is really important. Like, so either you are selling watches, or maybe you are in the, as you mentioned, Farida, you are in the hospitality business. You can also be selling insurance, or it can be a mobile phone, whatsoever it is. It is really important, whatever product or service which you are offering, so it should be accepted by the market. And that acceptability comes with this product placement concept which we discussed, right? You have to know your user, as well as you have to keep your products or services simple in the sense people must understand its usability. People must able to connect with your products and services. And the third important aspect we talked about, you have to meet their expectations. So these were the things which were discussed under product placements. Anybody remembers the four major life cycle stages which were discussed under product life cycle concept? Yeah, others are also free to answer.
I remember maturity.
Yeah, maturity. Okay, Grace. So, is it the very first stage of product life cycle? Maturity?
No, no. My brain is just failing me. It just came into my mind that there's an initial stage,
Okay.
development.
The first
it
stage
was
is
introduction.
introduction.
Okay, first stage. Okay, according to Akim, it's the first stage is introduction, third stage is maturity. Then what is the second one?
Growth.
Growth.
The
Nice. And what is the last stage? The fourth one?
Decline. Decline stage.
Decline. Okay, nice. Declines, right? So, we discussed product life cycle to understand each and every product which comes in the market. It has its own life, and it passes through all these four stages. Maybe there were some exceptions which we also talked about, because there was a query which has been raised by Bora, and that I'm glad to know that, like, that was really a nice question. And we discussed like there are certain products, maybe a few products which doesn't actually follows this bell shaped curve, right? So sometimes it happens a few products launched in the market, but it actually doesn't get that much, we can say, popularity, that much, we can say, the demand which should get generated. So what happens? So directly, so it gets introduced in the market. It doesn't come to growth or maturity stage. It actually, yeah, it actually go out from the market, right? So it directly reaches to decline stage. So it also happens, right? We also discussed a few things in the context of pricing, right? So we have discussed why pricing is so important for marketers as well as consumers, right? So I just want to know one point in the support of both the parties. So why do you think pricing is really important for marketers? Yeah, please, a few responses. I hope you got my question.
Question again, sir.
Yeah, I'm asking, why do you think pricing is really important decision for marketers?
Well, I can say it determines the profit of the product.
Okay, so profit, if as a marketer, if you want to earn profit, so that is something which comes out of price. Very nice, Kamis. Any more argument in this in the favor of this point? Why marketers think requires a robust understanding about what prices they are going to offer to the market, means to their consumers. Okay, why consumers why do you think consumers also has much relevance to the pricing decisions, means whatever prices which are going to be offered by marketers, so consumers, why consumers has much importance of pricing whenever they buy something or not buy something.
I think the satisfactions they derive from the product also.
Okay, okay, right. And any more responses? My question is why consumers actually are concerned about the pricing which are offered by marketers. Okay, so the point which I have raised, let me just complete that and then we'll move ahead with today's discussion. So we discussed pricing is really important for both the parties. One is the marketer, definitely, who is actually marketing something, who is setting their products and services on offer. So it is really important for them because pricing actually brings profit into the business, pricing brings revenue into the business, as well as it gives them a survival. That is really important. If you are doing any business, so first and foremost important goal for you is to survive in the market, and pricing is one profit center. We discussed that day when we were talking about the 4 P. So discussed pricing is a price is a profit center, right? Why it is a profit center? Because it is going to bring revenue into your business. From a consumer's perspective, why pricing is important? Because pricing is a reference point for me. If I'm buying a water bottle or a mobile phone, or it can be insurance, it can be a tourism package, but price is the very first thing which I'm going to pay attention. And either I'm going to buy something or not going to buy something, that is very much depends upon a price. And that is the reason price is a reference point for a consumers. Price also is a reference point for consumers to actually compare the products offered by one marketer to the other marketer, right? So maybe there are four companies who are offering the insurance. So price is one of the reference point which will give actually a much understanding to the consumer which company he or she should select when they are going to buy a insurance. So I'm just taking one such example. So let us go ahead with the today's discussion. I think I'm quickly just going through the slides of yesterday in a with an intention. If you have any confusion, any query, then you can right away ask me so that we will clarify those queries first and then we will move ahead. Just allow me a few seconds. Are you able to see my screen?
It's coming up.
It's coming up, okay.
Yes, yes.
Right. Okay, thank you. So I'm just quickly scrolling through the slides of yesterday with an intention, like if you have any confusion with any of the topics which you were discussed yesterday, we can bring clarity first and then we can move ahead. So we have started with product meaning. Then we have discussed there are some products which are pure products in a sense. We buy these products by without keeping much consciousness about the brands behind it. And these are the products which are being sold majorly with less emphasis on the brand, right? We have talked about product placement. Then we have talked about five product layers, right? So five product levels, which has been propounded by Philip Kotler. We will discuss that as well. What are the different categories under which we can divide the products? That is something which we have discussed also. Product life cycle is really important concept which we have talked about in detail. Then we have tried to develop an understanding how product and brand both of them are very much different from each other. What is product? What is brand? And how one is very much different from the other, and in one or other way, like it happens as a layman person, we interchangeably uses this term, but for a marketer both the things are different, and that was the understanding, that was the intention behind discussing this. And we have tried to identify what is like if we have gone through this set of products, brands and a company, and we have tried to identify which one is which. And we have talked about what is brand. Brand is made up of what? Points of difference and points of parity is the another important aspect, which is really important, and it is really important for from the positioning perspective as well, right? So we have talked about STP concept, right? Segmentation, targeting, and positioning. Now, how you are going to position your products as compared to your competitor products, and points of difference and points of parity is really important aspect that can be considered while we are doing a positioning. Pricing is the another aspect which we have talked about, and pricing decisions. What are the factors which impacts pricing decision? We have talked about it. Then I have given you one practice exercise activity to identify these brands. I hope all of you have gone through it. Now, any question or any query in this point in time related to block two's discussion? Otherwise, we'll move ahead with block three. All clear from block two?
Yes, sir.
Okay, comments. Thank you. Okay, so today we are starting with block three. Right. I hope my slides are visible to you.
Yes, it's visible.
Okay, thank you. So in block three, major things which we are going to cover is first we are going to talk about packaging, right? So though it is not a part of 4 Ps, please don't consider it as a part of 4 Ps, but it is another P which is really important for a marketer. Packaging is something which makes much sense for both marketers as well as consumers, and more importantly for consumers, packaging is really important. I'll tell you why is it so. Then we'll talk about what can be the different levels of packaging which can be over there. Then gradually we'll move towards distribution channels, right? So as I have started with, there are four major P's. We have already covered product and price. Two major P's we already covered. Now we are going to talk about the third major P, which is placement of product in the market and distribution channels, right? What can be the different types of distribution channels which are possible in case of your products, and uh, then we'll talk about what kind of distribution channel you should select, right? So as a marketer, which kind of partners you should select and which kind of distribution channel you should select. We'll talk about this. Then we'll move towards the fourth P of marketing mix elements, right? So what was the fourth P? It's promotion. So major discussion will be on the promotion decision. What is promotion decision? Why it is important? And then we'll talk about integrated marketing communications. That is a really important framework in terms of using your promotion strategically. Then we'll talk about competition in business, and that is really important to discuss in a sense, because if you talk about any business today, so competition is there. So what can be the different forms of competition which are possible, and why competition plays a very prominent role? We'll talk about this. And the last but not least important topic which we are going to talk about is Five Forces by Michael Porter or Mike Porter, and that will also be in the context of competition, right? So let us start with the packaging functions, right? So let me tell you what is packaging. I think all of you understand, having a basic. I have not intentionally not given a meaning of packaging here, because I'm very much sure all of you understand what is packaging all about. Packaging is basically a kind of a layer which protects, which contains, which promotes a particular product which you want to sell to your customers, right? So packaging, there are five major functions which are performed by packaging, and this five functions itself uh, actually forms the meaning of packaging, right? So either we buy a toothpaste, or we buy possibly a mobile phone, or we buy any form of product. It can be a bathing soap, it can be a shampoo, it can be a medicine, right? So different forms of products covers a different form, requires a different type of packaging. But these are the five major common functions which are really important from a perspective of packaging, and this is being fulfilled by packaging of any product, right? We can also talk about why packaging is so important, but first let us talk about what are the five major functions which are performed by packaging. So first and foremost important function it performs is to protect the product, right? So one very contextual example here can be of a food product, right? So any form of food product which we consume, so that is being protected by a packaging. So if I talk about beverages, or if I talk about water, or if I talk about soft drinks, so it comes in a water bottle, in a bottle, right? So what is the role of that water bottle, or that bottle is to protect the inside material from damage, from environmental conditions, and from being pilferage, right? So out of any reason, if there will be some damage to the outer package, but it won't allow it to reach out to the actual product which is inside the package, right? So protection is the very first function which is performed by packaging, and very primary function as well, in a sense. That is the very first reason of coming up with an idea of packaging. So if you talk about why very initially marketers have come up with packaging, so protection of product is something which is the very initial requirement which was over there. Then second is to preserve it. Preserve means each and every form type of product requires and has its own shelf life, right? So some, like we have discussed yesterday, so some of the products are the non-durable products, like milk, food items, fruits, vegetables. These are the non-durable items. On the other hand, there are some durables. So as per the nature of the product, you can preserve your product by using the right form of packaging. So that is the second important function which is performed by packaging. The third is promotion. So we see different forms of packaging. Has a different form of colors, different form of graphics, different form of information which we find on that, right? And what is the intention behind it? So we can easily identify what is this brand all about, what is the form of product which will be inside, and so packaging itself is one of the important promotion tool, right? So we're discussing about different five major promotion tools or modes of promotion we have talked about in the block one itself. So packaging is the another important tool or mode of promotion we can consider, right? Because it promotes the product by itself, right? So we can identify which brand of toothpaste is there. We can easily identify and locate products which are being placed in a store at different locations, and that function is performed by packaging, promotion of a product. And we also say, it's a very popular saying, like packaging is a silent salesman, right? Why is it a silent salesman? Because has its own language to speak up. It doesn't speak up in the verbal terms, right? But usually what happens, if we take a look at a package, we identify what is this product all about and what is the brand behind it, and that is the importance which is over there. The fourth is information. So packages covers all those information which is really important for consumers education purpose and consumers information purpose, right? So we find, if we are buying a food product, so we find there are different ingredients which are mentioned on the packaging. Also we find, if we are possibly buying a shampoo, or maybe we are buying any other FMCG product, so we find a sort of information which is available on the packaging. So what is the intention behind it? First, it educates the consumer, right? What is something which is inside the product, how it has been actually prepared, and what can be the possible usages. It also happens, we find like we are buying a particular product, but what can be the different usages of those products, and that information we can find itself on the packaging. The fifth and another most important function which has been performed by packaging is contain. Contain means one can actually contain a product inside it. It carries, one can carry a product from one place to another place, and that is something which is being performed by packaging. So we see there are different forms of packaging which are being used by marketers. So one can actually distribute. See, when you were talking about distribution decision, and we will discuss it in detail. Distribution is not at all possible if right packaging is not there, right? So if you are going to, if you are selling any form of product, distribution is the very important. Packaging is the very primary thing which you have to think about. From one place to another place, how you will make your product available, and how you are going to contain that product from one place to another place, and that is very much possible with the help of packaging. So these are the five major functions which are performed by packaging, and each and every function which have been specified here, it is actually helping a marketer to we can say they can actually provide the right product, or we can say the right service. Majorly the packaging is important with the products. Right products can be delivered to the consumers, and this five functions actually helps marketers to just to keep the identity and originality of product intact. That is something which is very much important, which is over there. So now if we talk about why packaging is important from marketers perspective, so all these five functions also serves as a purpose of packaging. But if we talk about from a consumer's perspective, right? So consumers, we as a consumer also we like the packaging of some products, and we don't like the packaging of the other products. Sometimes we buy those products which comes in a very very beautiful, very nice packaging. On the other times it happens we don't like the packaging of that particular product, and we try to ignore that product. And that is the another reason packaging plays a very prominent role. So for both marketers as well as consumer perspective, packaging is something which is a really important decision, and that's why we are discussing this before distribution itself, right? So when we already talked about product and price, it is really important to select the right package for marketing your product, and that is going to make sense for your distribution channels, and that's why this packaging functions comes before distribution channel decision. Now there can be three levels of packaging which are possible, right? So you here the example of toothpaste has been given. So you can see the primary packaging of toothpaste is the tube which is over there, right? So like all the toothpastes come in a primary packaging which is a kind of a tube which is over there, right? And then the secondary packaging is the just outer packaging of the tube. It comes in a small box, and that box contains all sort of information. I was talking about the graphics, I was talking about the ingredients, I was talking about the expiry date, the price of the product. All those details you can find on the secondary package. It is also available on the primary package. In most of the products you will find it is available on primary package, but sometimes it happens by keeping the branding elements in the mind. So intentionally marketers keep less information on primary package, and they give other information on secondary package. So if you are buying any jewelry product, so you will find there is not much information you will find on both primary and secondary packages, because it is not required. All those information you will already get with the help of salesperson, and with the in your bill which your invoice which you are going to get. So you'll find all those information. So it varies from which form of product which consumer is buying. Then third level of packaging is the transportation packaging, and that is really important from a distribution perspective. So a marketer, suppose a marketer who's in the FMCG business, so how much cost they are going to incur to transport their product from one place to another place, and how much convenient it will be for them, as well as how safe will be the product. That is very much depends upon the transportation packaging as well. And cost is the another major factor that can be determined with the help of what form of transportation packaging which is being used by the marketer. So all these three levels of packaging really important, and each and every level serves its own purpose, right? I was telling about like some information is available on primary package, other is available on secondary package, and this the outer package, the transportation package actually helps to preserve the product, and it doesn't actually allow any form of environmental damage or any form of external impact on the product, and that is very much possible with the help of transportation packaging. So it is not just a transportation packaging, it is also an important we can say the it can be used for preserving the product from all forms of damage, right? So these are the three levels of packages which we usually see in most of the products. You may see in some of the products there is another, so there is primary packaging, there is secondary packaging, there is another packaging you may find which can be over there, or it is also possible there is one more polythene layer which is over there outside the product. It depends upon the form of product which you are buying, and it also depends upon much upon the marketer which form of packaging they want to use. Now, what can be the objectives of packaging? So these are the five major objectives that is being fulfilled with the packaging. First is the physical protection. We already discussed it in context of functions. So you can actually physically protect the product from any form of damage, right? And it can be environmental impact. It can be a kind of impact which so it happens. So if you ever paid attention, if any form of electronic goods you buy, so there is a special instruction which has been printed on the outer packaging, please handle it carefully, or the glass item or maybe the electronic item, they specifically mention it. Why is it so? Because the person who is handling that package, he or she is having a clear idea what is something inside that and how much care they should take in handling that product. And that is one very primary objective that has been fulfilled by packaging is physical protection of the product. The second important objective that is being fulfilled by packaging is it actually package and market the product, right? So marketing and packaging itself is the second purpose, right? You want to select a kind of package which is very much attractive, which actually gains the consumer interest and attraction, and it actually persuades the consumer to buy your products, and that is very much depends upon the form of packaging which you are using. And it is a marketing tool, as I was discussing, like it's a silent salesman. You don't require to talk much about your product if your packaging is very attractive. Third, another important objective is conveys a clear message. What is this product all about? What is the brand behind it? And why should you buy this particular product? It will also give you enough reasons. It will educate you. It will inform you. That message conveys, that message is clearly being communicated by packaging. The fourth important objective is it enhances the brand image, right? So, uh, see what usually happens. Let me tell you a very basic difference between the first two things is brand identity and brand image, right? So what is brand identity? Brand identity is something which is created by the marketer, right? So we put lots of efforts to create a kind of a brand identity in the minds of consumers, right? We try to use different tools and tactics. We use strategize, we use different logos and different elements to create a right brand identity. But what is a brand image? Brand image is something which is formed by consumer. It is on the other side. So consumers, how consumers perceive your product or perceive your brand, and that is termed as brand image. So you can actually enhance the brand image. How consumers are going to perceive your product, how consumers are going to perceive the brand image of your product, and that is something which is very much depends upon a packaging. It enhances the brand image, and that is the reason when we go for a shopping, so there are certain products who have a kind of packaging which enhances the brand image, and consumers are ready to pay higher price for buying those products as compared to all those products which are not having a very attractive packaging, right? One such example can be, it also happens a same product, a same generic product which is being sold openly, and in the other case there is a known brand which is over there. I was taking that example of detergent Dettol. There is an open detergent which is selling in the market, and the other hand there is a known sponsor who is actually selling the selling the products, and there is a known sponsor behind it who is using a right packaging, and the price of product actually jumps significantly, right? So consumers are not ready to pay that much price for the open product as compared to if it is coming in a right packaging. And that is the reason it enhances the brand image, and it actually persuades the customer to buy the product. Last but not least, it enhances the profits, and it helps in a product identification. That is, we already discussed, we can identify the product, but profits, as I was discussing the example, like consumers are ready to pay higher price because the packaging is really nice. So that is definitely going to contribute into the profits which marketers are expecting. So you are selling a product which is not having a good packaging, or you're not using packaging at all to save the cost, but definitely profits which you are going to earn is also going to vary. So if you want to earn higher profits, so packaging can be the another important tool for charging the higher prices to the consumers to actually earn the major share of the major share of profit from what they are spending on your products. So these are the five major objectives that can be fulfilled by packaging. So majorly what we discussed in terms of packaging, we talked about wow, what is packaging, what are the different functions performed by packaging, why it is really important for both marketers as well as consumers. Then we have talked about what are the levels of packaging that can be used by a marketer, and then the objectives of packaging, why packaging is really important. That is we have discussed just now. Now, any query in this point in time? Anything you would like to ask? Yeah, if so far so good, then we can move ahead. I just want your response, otherwise I won't be able to. Thank you. Okay, so let us move ahead with the distribution decision, right? Now we are moving towards the third important P among the marketing mix elements which are over there, right? So why distribution decision is really important? Because it is all about convenience of the consumer, right? Set right time, how you can make available it at right time and right place, how you can make available your products, and that is very much depends upon a distribution management. How strong is your distribution management can be a reason for your success, right? And all those FMCG firms, all those we can say the automobile firms, all those fashion selling, or all those fashion firms, in a sense, the businesses which are into fashion business, all of them understands the importance of distribution management. And why is it so? Because distribution is something which is really important from both marketers and consumers perspective. Distribution gives an edge to one marketer over the other marketers, and we'll try to understand this, why this is so important, right? So as you are seeing, there is a package which is in the center, right? And here I am talking about distribution, which is actually a combination of both online and offline channels, right? We are not specifically focusing on offline distribution here, right? So as you can see, the package is over there in the center, and here we are talking about omni-channel distribution. What is omni-channel distribution? A customer can get in touch through any channel with the marketer, and they can get avail the product using any channel. Either it can be online channel, it can be offline channel, it can be a nearby store, it can be a pick up and move store. And you are also seeing a multiple card modes are being used, or multiple payment modes are being used for paying for the same product. So distribution actually makes much sense nowadays, right? So as you're seeing, the package is in the center. So there is a retail facility which is over there where this product is available. So either customer can go directly to that retail facility and buy the product, or it is also possible to reach out to call center, right? You can reach out to call center, get the details about the product, and then you can order the product. Nowadays e-commerce is something which is very much popular. and on a single click we can buy any product at at our whatever price which we are looking for. So we can get a very reasonable price, best price online, and that is very much possible due to this strong distribution network. And many of the big players nowadays, if you talk about Amazon, or if you talk about some of the big players in the e-commerce industry, they are actually delivering the consignments within 24 hours. That is also possible. Telemarketing is there, which is also important channel for distribution. Direct selling is happening through different like we can say e-commerce itself is a direct channel, but one can call it, one can order it through a different mode through to directly receive it at your doorstep. Distance selling is possible. You are sitting in one country and you want to order something from the other country. That is also very much possible. And you are seeing there is a technology which is over there, 24/7 help, which is being provided by the marketers. On call you can connect with the marketer, using internet you can connect with the marketer. So all this possible means are there to to have a good connect with the consumers. And that is one, it is one aspect which is being performed by the distribution management. Now we are going to talk about what can be the different forms of distribution channels which are possible, right? So you are seeing this is the first manufacturing point which is over there. So suppose this is a factory of manufacturing your shoes, right? So all of us order shoes or buy shoes from different channels. Either we buy it from online channel or through offline store. So manufacturing point is there, and this manufacturing point is sending their consignment or products to warehouse, which is being located at different levels. It can be located at international level, national level, regional level, local level. So there are different forms of warehouses, like different levels one can set up the warehouses. Then through warehouses you are selling it to different distribution partners. You are selling it to wholesalers, you are also selling it to your means through your own retail outlets you are selling it. There are some retail shops which are keeping the range of footwears, so from where you can actually sell it. There is a supermarket which you are seeing over here, so you are selling it so through supermarket as well. And there is a possibility there is an online channel as well, right? So it is not possible, it is not nowadays, it is not only the case like distribution is not at all connected with online channel. So there is a online channel which is also available through which customers can buy. And last is the retail chains through which consumers will actually buy the product. So there is a possibility different forms of distribution channels which are possible, and as per the nature of your product, and as per the like how much cost you want to invest in your digital distribution channel, that is going to determine which distribution channel you are going to use. So in this we can see that there are different types of distribution channels which are also possible, right? So first one is the very indirect channel in which manufacturer is there. Possibly there is another distributor which is also over there, the wholesaler is there, retailer is there, and then the end consumer is there. The second channel is little bit short. You are seeing the manufacturer is there who's selling directly to the retailer, and then the end consumer is buying from the retailer. The last one is a very direct channel in which manufacturer is directly selling something to the end consumer, and that is also possible. So I was discussing just now like which type of distribution channel is actually good for the products which you are selling. So it actually depends upon first the nature of product, right? So if the nature of product is of a kind which requires a multiple channel partners, so if you are in the FMCG business, so definitely you will require a multiple distribution partners, because the area will be very wide. You will have to provide your products at a very local level as well, and that is very much possible with the help of multiple distribution partners. And you will see in most of the FMCG products, you will see there is a very long distribution channel which is over there. So there are manufacturers, then there are some distributors. These distributors are located at national level. then they are distributing these products to different regions in which this products are going to be sold, and then those regional distributors are selling those products to wholesaler. Then wholesalers are providing it to the retailers as well as some of the super stores which are available in the city or town, and the end consumers are buying it from those shops or stores. So that is a typical distribution channel which you will find in case of FMCG products. Can anybody tell me? Suppose I'm giving you one example. So suppose you are looking after the distribution channel of Coca-Cola, right? Coke. I think all of you are aware about the Coke beverages. So as per your understanding, what can be the different forms of channels Coke should be using? Yeah, I want your responses, please. I'm just stop sharing the screen for a moment. If you consider the example of Coke, yeah, Usman, please go ahead.
Yes, I think it is a first level manufacturer, wholesaler, retailer, then end user
Mm-hmm.
for the Coca-Cola.
Okay. Actually, Usman, your voice is not much clear. There is some issue with your mic. Yes, Salihu.
Okay, the distribution channel of Coca-Cola is from the manufacturer to
Uh-huh.
wholesaler, then
Uh-huh.
to retailer or to the end
Okay.
users, that is the consumer.
Okay. Nice. Okay. So if I talk about what are the different channels in a sense, so one channel is for sure is where the distributors are there, then they are selling it to wholesalers and retailers, and then it is going to end consumers. But we see Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola installs different vending machines at busy areas as well, right? So that is also another one form. We also get the Coca-Cola through restaurants. And if you are ordering something online, we can also buy Coke from there, right? So what is my idea why I have taken the example of Coke? Because see, it may happen your product is being sold through a very long channel, one particular type of channel, and major in major cases it happens either it's the Coke or any other product. In major cases it happens you are not actually dependent upon the single channel of distribution, but you have a different set of distribution channels which we are using. First, as per the nature of your product, that is one thing which we're discussing. The second important thing, who all are your target consumer groups. So for a Coke, who all are the target consumer groups? First is the different businesses, right? So the restaurants, the hotel industry, the liquor industry. Why liquor industry? Because all those bars and pubs where the liquors is being sold, so Coke is being used there as well. Restaurants also use as it, hotels also use as it, all the even the educational institutions, the busy commercial areas, shopping areas, everywhere you will find there is a Coke is being available. So this the sellers, in a sense, the businesses who are directly going to use these products, they are the one set of target consumer group which is over there. The second possible consumer group is the direct consumers, the consumers and consumers, and they are buying it from the superstores, they are buying it from the vending machines, they are buying it from the maybe from the other channels when we are maybe a nearby grocery store. So that is the another form of channel which is being used. Nowadays they are also selling their products through online channels because there is a much competition in all forms of products you can sell online. So if you are doing a party at your home, and if you are aware, like after 2 or 3 days you have to organize a party at your home, and you will require certain amount of beverages, soft drinks at your to be served in that party. So you can order it online at a good price. That is another channel which is being used by Coke. So what is my idea here? First, nature of product, you can decide which channel you should use. Second, who are the target users, target consumer groups whom you are serving, and that is not necessarily be so definitely a person who is buying Coke from restaurant and a person who is buying a Coke from any retail store, so their purposes are different. The quantity which they are going to buy is going to be different. the taste or maybe the variety of Coca-Cola products which they are going to buy, it is going to be different. And that is the reason the channel of distribution which is required is also be different. And the prices are also something which varies. So if you are going to buy a Coke from restaurant, you will have to pay the price at whatever the MRP which is over there, maximum retail price which is over there, you have to pay it. But if possibly if you are buying it from any superstore in a good quantity, buy one get one free, or in a if a party pack you are buying, so you may get some good discount on that. Even if you are using any online channel, you can get a discount on that. So that is the reason the cost of that channel is the one factor which will determine how much price a consumer is going to pay. And that is the reason it is a very, I was discussing, it is a very crucial decision which channels you are going to use, and which set of channels you are going to use to distribute your products, right? Now let me take another such example. Let me first go back to the slide. Okay, so first we have taken the example of FMCG firms. Now let us take the example of any automobile business, right? So suppose there is a there is a known automobile brand Honda which is over there. Now Honda wants to sell their products. So typically, if you take a look at the distribution channels of this automobile firm, so they have a very fixed distribution channel. They usually don't use as multiple channels. Definitely they use as multiple promotion channels, but distribution channels are usually fixed, right? So most of the automobile firms uses the distribution network of their own, right? So they are the manufacturers, they have their own their own we can say their own stores, their own showrooms or dealership networks which are actually available in different cities and towns, and through that they directly sell it to the end consumer. One possible case is there, like as a manufacturer, Honda is manufacturing something, then they are actually selling it to the distributors, and those distributors who are located at a national level, they are selling it to the regional level distributors. That is another little long channel which may be possible, but majorly the same distribution channel is being used by the automobile sellers, and it will be same all across. You won't find much differences in that. And they usually rely upon one or two forms of distribution seller. They don't use as multiple distribution channels, right? And what is the reason? The nature of the product and the type of even the end consumers, and why it is not possible to use multiple distribution channels, because end consumers also requires a certain amount of understanding about that product. They need to do a test drive, they need to know the features and all other important qualities which are available in that particular model of two wheeler or Honda, we can say moped, or if I'm taking the context of two wheelers, so mopeds or bikes which the Honda is selling. So that is something which is required to be understood by the consumer, and that is the reason the multiple channels are not going to serve the purpose. They need a very clear and very distinguished channel to sell their products. So that is the another one such example where the distribution channel is being selected as per the nature of business and the who is the ultimate buyer of the products, right? In most of the cases where the products are not much complex, so the choice of channel is little bit much open. But if you see, the product is very much complicated. So in most of the industrial products, in most of the products where a consumer or customer is required good amount of understanding about the product, its do's and don'ts, how to use those products, a certain amount of training is required. In all those cases you will see the distribution channel is very different from all those products which are very easy to use, right? So that is the reason I'm taking the both contrary example. One is FMCG product, anybody can buy it from any store, any place, the usage will be same, and customer is not require much education about those products. On the other hand, if you talk about laptops or maybe any technical product, you will require little bit understanding about that product, how to use it. You will also require after sale services. In most of the FMCG products, there is no need of after sale services, right? In case of shampoos, detergents, toothpaste, or maybe eatables, there is no need of after sale services. Hardly there are some after sale services are required. But if you take example of automobiles, if you take example of technological products, you definitely need after sale services. As a consumer, you need after sale services, and that is a concern for marketers as well. They need to provide after sale services, and accordingly distribution channel will be decided. One large channel which we are seeing here is manufacturer to end consumer. Nowadays e-commerce is at boom, and we see many manufacturers are directly selling with the help of technology to the end consumers, and there are no intermediaries. And what are the benefits for both the parties, marketers as well as consumers? Manufacturers or marketers are also saving the cost. They do not have to pay the money to the intermediaries, and ultimately it comes from the pocket of end consumer, right? Whatever money which marketers pay to their distribution partners, so it comes from the pocket of end consumer. The ultimate burden comes on the pocket of end consumer, and that is being saved by the distribution partner. Second important aspect is end consumer also having much clarity and understanding about what is being, so there are no intermediaries, so possibly less confusion is there. See, uh, intermediaries can play a definitely play a good role of education and information, but also in some cases it may happen consumers are having more clarity in case if they are directly connected with the marketer. So again, we come to the same points, which what is the nature of your business, who are your target consumer group, and also how much cost you want to invest in your distribution network. And is your business is your business is capable to use one distribution channel and fulfill its objectives, then one distribution channel can be sufficient. Otherwise there can be a need of multiple or combination of distribution channels, right? uh, One more aspect which we need to pay attention when we are talking about distribution channel: how many partners and who can be your partners, how you can select that, right? And when I'm talking about partners, so I'm talking about majorly in terms of distributors, wholesalers, and retailers, right? So what you can do, so this is one small, very simple chart which is over there in front of you. You can do a partner selection criteria and assessment. You can use it, right? So suppose there are four different types of partners which are available for you. So there are different partners who can actually help you to have a strong distribution network of your own, right? So partner A, B, C, D, three partners are there. So how you are going to select it? So you can rate it out of 10, right? So these are some parameters or criteria which you are seeing on the left hand side. Best coverage of the target market is the first thing. So whatever is your target market, so which partner can best cover it, so you can rate it on that basis. Second, best satisfy the buying requirements of the target market. And when we are talking about buying requirements, means we are focusing upon consumers requirement. So what is something which consumers want, what is something which consumers expect, and that is something that can be rated for out of 10, and that can be understood like which partner can be a best choice. Most profitable partner, in a sense, who has a capability to give you a business, and that is also very much depends upon who is going to be your partner. Let me take one such example here, right? Walmart is a very known and established supermarket chain in US, right? So Walmart is having its own strength. They have a huge consumer base, as well as they can sell all those products in a huge good quantity as well. So that is the reason all those FMCG firms which are operating in the industry, they want their Walmart to be their partner. Why? Because the flow of good will be very high, and also the more number of consumers they will be able to serve through a single partner. And that is the reason. So, and I'm not at all saying Walmart is the most profitable partner, but the quantity which Walmart is able to sell can be equivalent to maybe I'm just taking a rough case. So if you are having 1,000 retailers and if you are having one Walmart in that particular city or town, so that much capability one particular seller is having. So that much difference you can make in terms of how much sale you can do. But maybe whatever profit you can get, so who is the most profitable, that can be determined. Geographic alignment, that is really important. So it happens sometimes as a marketer, it is not actually possible for you to reach out to each and every geographical location. Why is it so? Because there are some limitations which you are also having. You have limited resources, you can invest a limited amount of money, and that is the reason. So this geographical alignment can be done with the help of distribution partners. So it happens sometimes, if the distribution market or area is very large, so you dedicate a particular area to a particular distribution channel partner. And why is it so? Because that partner is having a capability to give you the business, and they can actually get the business from that particular area, and they can be fulfill most of the objectives of yours, and that is very much possible. So geographical alignment can be done. It can be decided which partner can give more business from a particular area, right? So that is one criteria that can be taken for consideration. Value added to our value proposition, that is another important aspect to be take care about. So it is really important, whatever channel you are selecting, distribution channel, it should be adding some value to your business. And it can be in terms of more profit generation, it can be in terms of more customer footfall, means more demand from the customer, it can be in terms of more market share. So what is the value proposition which you are considering? See, value proposition can be profit, value proposition can be more market coverage, value proposition can be more sales, value proposition can be maybe less cost. So it depends, like what is the value proposition which you are getting out of selecting a particular partner. So by taking this criteria in the mind, you can select, and it is not necessarily important you should select one partner. You can select two or three partners, and it depends upon your own business and how much risk and how much cost you want to incur in your distribution channel. And by doing that, one can select the channel partner, and that decision also makes much sense when you are deciding your distribution channel network. So we have just talked about what is distribution management, why it makes sense, uh, how distribution channel actually works in terms of what are the connecting points which are over there. Then we talked about types of distribution channels and which sort of distribution channels should be selected by a firm. And we also talked about distribution channel partner selection. Now I'm just hold on. I'm just taking a small pause here and asking, waiting for your response. If any query is there, so let us first sort out that and then we'll move ahead. Any question in this point in time? I hope all of you are there with me, because from last 15 minutes I was continuously speaking. So any question in this point in time?
No question, but we are here.
Okay, Farida. Thank you.
We're here. So far,
Okay,
so
great.
good.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so let us go ahead with the next P of marketing mix element. So we have completed product, price, place in the sense distribution network. Now we are going to talk about promotion, and very important element of marketing mix. I hope you are able to see my screen.
No, sir.
No, just
Not
hold on.
yet.
Just hold on. Just give me a second. Now is it visible?
Yes, sir. Visible.
Okay. Okay. So, if we talk about promotion, which is the fourth important marketing mix element, so promotion is a marketing tool used as a strategy to communicate between the sellers and the buyers, right? So, which sort of promotion tools you are going to use, that is going to decide how much business you can get in the coming future. And that is the reason promotion decision is a very crucial decision, and there is a much cost which is being incurred in this decision, and that is the reason it is a very crucial thing to discuss and determine carefully, right? So it happens in many businesses that if you are doing advertising, as we have discussed, that the advertising is a pet form of promotion. So sometimes companies budget is almost we can I'm just taking a rough figure. So suppose a company is investing 100 cr in their business in a year, so they are investing not less than 50 cr in the advertising only, advertising in the sense majorly in promotion only, and 50 cr then they invest in the other aspects of business. That much can be the budget or amount they invest in the promotion. So it is not just only about money, but it is also about how much return you can expect from your business. That is also very much depends upon the promotion. So promotions also refer to the entire set of activities which communicate the product, brand, or service to the user. So whatever you are selling, whatever something which is on offer from your end, how you are going to portray yourself as a right choice for the consumer, because promotion is not just limited to just give an extra edge to your product, but it is also really important to educate and provide information to your to your consumers. And many a times awareness, creating awareness can be like, as we have started with this only. So sometimes promotion performs the job of creating awareness, and the further task is done by the users itself, means the consumers itself, right? So if I talk about promotion decisions, so that day we have already discussed about advertising and all other forms of four forms of promotion mix elements. So today I'm going to talk about integrated marketing communication. So what is the difference between the two? Let me first clarify that, right? So when we are discussing about the promotion mix elements, so we have focused upon the five major promotion mix elements, namely advertising, sales promotion, personal selling, publicity, and direct marketing. But here we are also integrating it with some of the digital channels, as well as we are here talking about how we can use all these channels in an integrated manner. And that day also I have talked about the, like, it is not the one channel that can give you the best benefits, it is a combination of all those channels that can give you the best benefits, right? So let us again start with uh, public relations here, because this is the first thing which has been mentioned here. So we already discussed about that public relations that day. See how strong are your public relations, how many customers of yours are talking about your products and services to the audience or maybe the general public. And that is one thing which can actually do the great job for you. So public relation is the very first important element of integrated marketing communications. Second is the social media. Nowadays we also know the power of internet and social media, and how much population all across the world is using the social media. And all those channels we can consider Instagram or maybe LinkedIn and Facebook, Snapchat, WhatsApp. All these social media channels are actually a very potent tool for the marketers to reach out to their consumers. And social media performs the job of not only just to reach out to them, but it is also an important mode of connecting from the consumers nowadays, right? So even the job of public relations or customer relationship management can be very easily done with the help of social media. And social media nowadays not just restricted to just create awareness or information, but also nowadays it is very much possible to buy something from any social media platform itself, because there is a call to action which is possible in social media. Trade shows are very important, and special events which are organized by the known sponsors. So it happens different forms of trade shows are being organized by different agencies or different marketers. And maybe these trade shows are dedicated to one particular industry. It can be a trade show organized by maybe the electronic industry. It can be a trade show organized by fashion industry. It can be a trade show organized by tourism industry, or it can be a combination of all this. So we may see there is a trade show where we are finding food stalls, we are finding fashion shops, we are finding electronic devices. So that is also possible. Trade shows has important role in first creating awareness about the new products which are being offered by the marketers. Second, immediate sale is possible. So some of the samples, some of the products which are available there in the trade show itself, so marketers can easily sell those products from there. Direct marketing, all of us understand that we have discussed. Direct marketing can be a direct marketing using offline channel as well as online channel. So all possible means through which you are selling something directly through the consumers, so that is direct marketing. Web development and e-communication. So nowadays, there is a much efforts which has gone into this website development, mobile applications development, and all forms of e-communication which is being done by marketer to reach out to their consumers. So that is another important possible channel which is over there. Sales promotion, that day we have discussed. Sales promotion is about pushing the sales, is about giving a push to your already existing sales by giving some attractive offers, right? Special media events are organized by the marketers to just get the attention of the audience. So suppose if you are coming up with a really nice product, unique product, so you can organize a special media event where whole media is covering your product, whole media is talking about your product, and that is something which is very much important tool which is there. Advertising, I'm very much sure that day we have discussed in detail. We have talked about its unique characteristics as well. It is a paid and non-personal form of promotion. So that is also makes much sense. Research and strategic planning. Why research and strategic planning? It is not actually a tool. It is not actually a medium, but research about all this. That is the intention of writing this here. You have to do research and strategic planning when you are designing your integrated marketing communication mix. And it may happen one channel is missing in your integrated marketing communication, or any other channel has been added. Why is it so? Because that is the nature of your business. That is something required by your business. Now, if I talk about if you integrate both traditional and digital, so how your integrated marketing communication will look like, right? So here majorly all other offline medias you are considering in a one bunch, right? So I'm talking about advertising, sales promotion, personal selling, publicity. All this are considered as a part of online media, and public relations majorly done through online means that is also be considered here. Now there is a social media which you are using. You are also using podcast, audios, and multimedia. You are doing email marketing. You are also doing print marketing, media and digital mail. You are doing a search marketing, website, social share, video, and blogs. All these things can be integrated and make a form of communication. And why integrated communication makes sense? Because nowadays consumers can reach out through any of these means, and vice versa, a marketer can reach out to them through any of these means, right? So let me take one such very simple example. So nowadays each and every bank is using integrated marketing communications. And why is it so? Because banking can be done through branch banking. Banking can be done through mobile phone banking. Mobile banking can be done through ATMs. It can be done through message banking. So there are multiple channels through which consumers are actually doing the transaction. Consumers are using your services. Now they can reach out through any of these means, right? They can write an email to bank for getting the answer to any of their queries. They can reach out through a telephone. They can directly reach out to your branch. All these possible means are there. So you are seeing customer is in the center, and all these marketing communication channels are surrounded to that customer. And what is the idea here? These channels are actually our integrated and omni-channel presence is there, so customer can be reached out through any of these channels, and even customer can reach out to the marketer using any of these channels. And I hope all of you have a understanding about the blogs as well as search marketing. And anybody knows what is search marketing? I just want little bit clarity of yours about this. Anyway, in the next block, we will be discussing some of the aspects of digital marketing. But for just as it has been mentioned here, I thought let me just ask, get to know your clarity. So, any idea about search engine marketing or search marketing? Yeah, I'm waiting for your responses. Have you ever heard this term, search marketing or search engine marketing? Okay.
Be marketing your products through people who particularly go to a particular website and,
Okay.
well,
Okay.
I'm
Nice.
thinking, and then,
Mhm.
well, I'm just giving it a shot. I'm not sure.
Okay, okay. No, Grace, I think you are on the right track. So basically, it is mean like when we are saying search marketing or search engine marketing, so that is something which is related to what people searches about something, right? Means the users who are using internet, we uses different browsers for that purpose, different search engines. Majorly, we use Google and maybe some other search engines, which you are familiar with. So all of this works on the one common phenomenon, that is search engine marketing. So whatever user searches for, all those keywords and all those important keywords are being picked up by the marketers, and they bet on those terms, and they actually uses those keywords in the content which is available on their website. And that is the basic idea behind search engine marketing or search marketing. I'll throw light on detail light on this in the block 4 tomorrow, when we'll be discussing in some detail about the digital marketing. But I just wanted a brief understanding of yours about that. That is the reason I have just asked you this. Okay. So see, integrated marketing communication make much sense because consumers can be reached out through any of these channels. And nowadays in this digital age, when we talk about, so nobody want to wait, right? And there is a less patience which is over there from the consumer side, and that is the reason we don't want our customers to wait, and if we want to provide them with immediate resolution of their queries and concerns. And that is very much possible through integrated marketing communication. So if you are using integrated marketing communication, so any of these channels can be used in combination of the others, and customers can be reached out very effectively. So moving ahead, let us talk in some detail about the advertising modes, because please don't get me wrong, I'm not at all again stressing that advertising is the only possible means through which you can actually do the promotion. But most of the marketers we see nowadays, either they are using traditional media or digital media. Advertising is one of the forms, or one of the modes through which they reach out to their target consumer group. And the return, and if I talk about the reach, is very much possible in case of this. Yeah, any question anybody would like to ask here? Okay. So if I talk about advertising modes, so all these possible advertising modes are there, and possibly one or two may not be listed here, right? Television, very classic, very established advertising mode which is over there. Radio, we also know that radio is having also very strong reach, and if you want a very regional or local reach, radio can work for you. Newspaper is also very effective in doing a very regional or local reach. If you want to reach out to any of the remote location where even there is no strong internet connectivity, Newspaper or radio can be another the effective sources for doing the advertising. Billboards, we all know all those hoardings and billboards which we see in busy commercial areas or on the traffic lights. So this billboards are very effective. Truck advertising we see, so advertises on the trucks, buses. Nowadays outdoor advertising is having their its own share in the advertising market, and different ways through which you can advertise using the vehicles, even the auto rickshaws, and maybe the public transportation you can use. Not only truck, public transportation can be used for advertising on certain purposes. I think someone's mic is on unmute. Please mute it. Okay, I'm sharing the screen once again because there was a noise which was coming. Okay, so like trucks, buses, this public transportation is a very effective mode for doing the advertising. Internet, we all know internet is having multiple possibilities, and one of the biggest advantage of internet is we can measure. See, in case of television, it is somehow measurable. Newspaper is also measurable. Radio is somehow measurable. Billboards, tough to measure how many people are paying attention to your hoardings. But internet, if I talk about, or if I majorly, if I'm talking about internet, means I'm talking about digital marketing. So whatever you are doing in terms of digital marketing, each and every penny which you are spending on your ads, you can actually measure it, and you can measure the cost of serving each and every customer. So that is reaching every each and every customer, and that is very much possible. Broadcast can be any form of broadcast which you can do with the help of television, radio, and that comes under that. Mobile marketing has its even more reach. Mobile applications, location based marketing, and text messaging, WhatsApp messaging, all this makes much sense in mobile advertising. Social media has its own space. We were discussing very recently only. So whatever advertisements which you create, so we see there are some sponsored ads which come on Instagram, Facebook, and the social advertising is very much effective. Social in the sense, social media advertising is very effective. Clip video means all these reels and small clips which are being prepared by the influencers, marketers, and these videos nowadays the whole internet is flooded with videos and images, and this clip video is something which is very effective mode of advertising. Mailing, which is being done by known marketers, and mailing done with a specific purpose on right time, and using the right id, that can be a very much helpful. Promotion done through maybe any form of promotion which you are doing, where you are giving discounts, you are giving some extra benefits, or maybe we see there is a promotion which is being done through like there is a vehicle which is roaming around in the city or town and which is promoting your products or services. That is also a very classic and popular mode of doing advertising. Any form of live streaming which you are doing nowadays, there is much scope of live streaming on YouTube, and people watches out it. So that is another important way. Magazine, another classic and traditional mode of promotion. Magazines and magazine ads are very much were in trend, but nowadays people read e-magazines, so that is something which is a question here. Leaflets are there. Leaflets were very much popular during old days, but nowadays during this digital age, so leaflets are of less use, but this can be circulated to provide additional information to the consumers. T-shirts and all those accessories where we see there are some printed ads, sponsored T-shirts and sponsored accessories which are being provided during events. That is also very much important mode of advertising which is over there. So why we are discussing it in some detail, because now we are stressing upon each and every form of promotion and how it can be done. So these are some of the ways through which you can just only do the advertising. So as a company, as a marketer, if you have a budget, if you have a good amount of we can say money on your balance sheet to spend on advertising, so these are the possibilities which are over there. And we cannot question the effectiveness of advertising in a sense, if you know who is your target user, who is your target consumer, and if you are using the right channel of advertising, means right medium of advertising, and creating a very good content, definitely people will respond to it. So let me show you one such classic advertisement of Volkswagen, and that will give you an idea. And it was of something around, if I'm not wrong, 1990s or 90, between 2000. That was the time period, if I'm not wrong. This ad has been created, and very effective and very clear message they have given in that advertisement. Let me first play that video and then we'll talk further. If you don't get a sound, please let me know. Are you getting a sound of the video? Okay, thank you.
Yes, it's coming through.
Okay, I'm just playing it once again. Yeah.
Sempre qua. Andiamo qua. Ecco qua.
Right. So, see, I was talking about the effectiveness of the advertising. So, if you want to engage your audience, if you want to create a very impressive identity of your brand, and then in that case, advertising gives a very clear message. In this advertisement, reliability is something which was the focus of the Volkswagen, and they've given a very clear message that if you want to a reliable or trusted partner in terms of your car, so nobody else can be as much as reliable as Volkswagen is there. And a very simple instance of life they have taken for that purpose. So that's the power of advertising that is over there. But nevertheless, sales promotion is always very much effective. Some of the methods of sales promotion which can be used are price discounts, and that is one of the most best possible way of doing the sales promotion. In a sense, it gives a very clear and very consistent message to a customer that whatever they are getting in terms of price, or the straightforward discounts which are over there. And most likely way of doing sales promotion from the consumer's perspective, because people always like the price discounts. If they are getting something straight away off, they always like it. Sampling is the another way of doing it. Free samples, or buy one get one free, or maybe if you're buying a toothpaste, they are giving a free toothbrush, right? If you're buying possibly a burger, then they are giving you a newly introduced ketchup sachets. So this sampling or bundling is very much popular nowadays. Not sampling is being done, but bundling is also very much possible. So one brand is giving something other with them, right? So there is a bundling which is being done by two different brands, and sometimes it happens both are very different from each other. They don't belong to the same industry. That is also a possible case. Bonus packs are there, right? So let me give one such example which has just clicked in my mind. So nowadays sampling and bundling is being done by some different industries as well. So one common practice you will see if you are buying a Pepsi or Coke, so you will see there is a one offer which you will see of maybe Paytm or any other Google Pay, and if you buy that particular pack of Pepsi or Coke, so you can redeem that coupon and you can get a recharge of that particular company, or maybe you can get some cashback in that particular the application which you are using. So this forms of bundling nowadays are also very much possible and popular among the users. Bonus packs are there where you are giving some extra benefit to the consumers by paying less. Extended credit terms are very much popular in financial industry and very much popular, especially if people are using the credit cards. So extended credit terms, CMIs. So nowadays it is very much in practice. So if you are buying something from Amazon, so you can buy it on EMI, and that is the partnership which is being there between the partnering bank and the Amazon. Some of the loyalty programs which are being used by airline industries, which are being used by hotel industry, which are being used by even automobile industries. So loyalty programs are very much effective. In a sense, you can give a reason to your customers to come back to you in future. And loyalty programs are one of the nowadays very much effective methods of sales promotion. Contests are there. There are different contests, sponsored contest, or as a brand sponsor, as a official partner, as an education partner. There are different forms of contest which are being organized by the brands and companies, and this contest can be a kind of a gamification strategy. We also call it a gamification strategy because there's a much possibility of engaging your customers for a longer period of time. So suppose someone who is buying maybe a pair of shoes from you, and you are giving a lucky draw coupon to them, and that lucky draw is going to happen after 3 months, and within that 3 months they can come back and buy something from you, and you will offer them extra 5% or 10% discount. So combination of the two strategies is also possible. Two different methods can be used in combined, and you can ask people to engage with you for next 6 months or a year. And even the bonus packs also works like that. So suppose if you are going to buy a like a dish in a sense, this D2H facility or television facility which is over there, so you can buy a bonus pack for a year and you don't have to pay on a monthly basis. So there are possible means through which you can do the sales promotion. The ultimate purpose behind sales promotion is to push sales. It's to give some extra push to the sales which you are doing. Personal selling, another important mode of doing promotion, and here we are seeing the different stages of personal selling which are over there. And it starts with prospecting and qualifying. In a sense, you have to first understand who can be your target consumers, who can be the right people for you, who are going to show interest in your product or services. Then you can approach the customers, then you can present and demonstrate your products. You can handle their objections. If they have any concerns, queries, you can answer those queries and concerns, and then you can close the sale. Means ultimately customers are buying something from you, and the job doesn't stop here. You have to follow up the sales. You have to ask for the feedback. Then you have to look for the further possibilities or opportunities of selling to the same customers once again, and then you can see there are some satisfied customers which are over there with you. Personal selling makes much sense in all those businesses where there is a much detailed information or education is required by the customers, and in all those businesses where there is an important role of relationship, right? So personal selling is effective in terms in healthcare industry. Personal selling is very much effective in insurance industry. Personal selling is very much important in all those products where you see a customer is required much more detailed information about the products, as well as someone whom he can trust. And there the role of sales representatives and people, the sales executives roles comes in place. So we see there are some marketers or there are some sales executives who have a very high skills of persuading the customers. They have a good understanding about the product which they are selling, and they know each and everything about that, and don't know they very clearly understands how consumers are going to use the products which they are actually offering them. And here the knowledge, expertise, skills, and understanding of that particular salesperson or sales representative about the consumers works here. So that is something which is really important from the personal selling perspective. So here we have discussed about some of the major promotion modes or the channels which can be used. We have talked about advertising modes. We have talked about methods of sales promotion, and here we have just discussed personal selling process. Now, I'll just take a quick break and want to know if any query or any concern in this point in time. So far, so good.
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so let us quickly talk about competition, and then we'll end up our discussion for today. Okay, so after personal selling or promotion mix, now we are going to talk about competition, right? So see, competition is a truth of each and every business, right? Either you're selling detergents or selling insurance or a car, it can be a mobile phone, it can be a laptop, it can be a tourism package. Everywhere you will find the competition. And you cannot imagine any business where there is no competition. Hardly one or two businesses you can name where you will find there is no competitor, but only a single player who is operating in the industry. We'll try to take a look which are the different forms of competitions which are available in the market. First, let us try to understand why competition is important. See, it is not always a bad case if the competitors are there in the market. And why I am saying so, because competitors are also equally important to develop that market, right? So suppose if there is only one industry, and from a consumer's perspective, if you talk about this, so that is really a winning situation for the consumers. If there are more competitors, if there are more marketers or sellers who are offering the same products, then they will be getting the best products and price which they are looking for. So from their perspective, competition is really important and good. But from the marketer's perspective, if competition is there, definitely they will be getting a choice, or maybe not a choice, but definitely they will be getting a chance to continuously improve upon the products and their services which they are offering to their customers. And also, more importantly, it actually combinedly helps to develop the market, because it is not actually possible for a single seller to serve all the possible customers which are available in the market. They cannot serve them effectively. If there are two or three major players for operating in the business, definitely combinedly they can actually serve the market. That is, from that perspective, competition is good. Now let us talk about what can be the different forms or types of competition which can be over there. So, starting from the left hand side, when we are talking about monopoly, right? So, there is a monopoly which is a form of competition where only a single player is there in the market, and there is no any other player in the market who is operating. And as we are seeing on the left hand side, they are the price setters. The competition is least there, right? No any other competitor in the market, and they are the price leader and they are the price setter. Whatever price they want to offer, they will offer. So can you give me one or two examples where you see there is a monopoly of one particular player in the market? You can also talk about any particular industry. Yeah,
In most cases, the electricity industry, in our
electricity.
cases in
Very nice.
Africa,
Very nice.
you only have one
Uh,
player, or even water provision, water provision.
yes, yes.
So,
Very nice. So, see, all those public services, if you talk about, either they are the electricity suppliers or the municipal corporation, water bodies. So, consumers usually don't have a choice. Maybe if it is a very developed, more metropolitan city, you may find there are two or three players who are operating. But in the area in which you are living, possibly there is only one player who is operating. Similar is the case with the railways, right? So in most of the countries, like in most of the developing nations, we see there is a government who is operating the railways, and maybe it is running in a public-private partnership, but they are the only players who are operating. So suppose if I take the example of India, so in our country, so Indian Railways is the only major player who is operating in the railways, and they are the price setters. They are the one who decides about each and everything about that market or industry. No other player is there, and no other player can actually come into the that business because barriers are too much. See, one important quality of monopoly is there. Entry barriers are too much high that nobody ever think to come into that business, and if they will try, they will have to face a much rigid rules, laws. They will have to go through a much we can say the entry barriers are too much tough that it will be really difficult for them to come into that business, right? Now, if we move towards oligopoly, so this is a form of competition where there are only two or three players who are operating in that particular industry, but they have captured the whole market, right? Can you give me one or two example in context of your own country where you see oligopolies there? Yeah. Have you understood what is oligopoly? Oligopoly is a situation where only two or three major market players are there and they are competing with each other, and no any other player is there. So that's the
uh,
oligopoly structure.
in our case, the mobile industry.
Mobile industry, very nice. So it happens in case of mobile industry. It happens in case of this beverages industry. So why I'm saying so, because even globally, there are only two players who are competing in this soft drinks market. There are some other small local and regional players emerged over the period of time, but usually what has happened? So Coke and Pepsi has take over their business. That is the situation which is over there. So if you take a global market as a perspective, so oligopoly structure is there, and Coke and Pepsi are the two major players who are competing with each other, and they are the one who set the prices. They are the one who follows the each other. So both are the price leaders and both are the price takers in one or other countries or in one or other geography. Another form of competition is monopolistic competition, right? So this is a form of competition where are multiple players who are competing with each other. Competition is actually high, but their products are somehow different from each other. The products which they are offering are not identical, or possibly the products which they are offering are having the different usages, right? The ultimate application is different. So can you think about one or two example where multiple players are there competing with each other, but each and every one is unique, so that all of them are happily doing their business? Okay, let me try to give one or two examples about this industry. So in FMCG industry, you may see there are some players who are following the perfect competition because their products are very much identical to the other products. But in most of the cases, you will see there is a monopolistic competition. Why monopolistic competition? So suppose if there is a one particular brand of a soap which is offered by XYZ company, So that particular brand of soap is having different application, different usage, different features which it is carrying. It is not actually easy for other competitor to provide the same, or if they are try, they will try to provide, but also due to its uniqueness, people will buy that product. So what is the situation where different players are there? They are competing with each other. Definitely, their businesses get impacted by each other's businesses, but in this form of competition, like the products are different from each other, usage are different, applications are different, so in that way they don't directly like the impact is less. But if you talk about perfect competition, so it is the situation where the cutthroat competition is there, and all major players, small players are competing with each other, and they don't want to give a small chance to other competitor to take each other's business. And here we are seeing the competition is most. If you see, take a look at this continuum. On the left hand side, the competition is list. On the right hand side, the competition is the most. And this is a range where the price takers are there. Means what is the price which has been set by the market leader, others will follow it. And this majorly happens if you talk about any industry where there are multiple competitors are competing for identical products. So clothing industries like that, grocery industries like that, right? FMCG industry, you may see some of the FMCG products which are very much identical to the other brands. They are competing for that. So FMCG has a divide between both monopolistic as well as perfect competition. Even all those products where you see there are multiple players who are offering the same products, so they are the perfect competitors of each other. But in monopolistic competition, one such example can be pharmacy business. So there are some pharmacy businesses in which you see one particular drug which can cure a particular kind of disease is offered by one firm, and other firms offers the similar kind of drug, but their applications are different. So it is also a form of monopolistic competition which is there in the market. So these are the four major types of competition which majorly we see in terms of different products and services, and in different countries, and even though in those countries in different geographical regions, this combination may vary. So even some of the firms, as I was taking the example, some of the industries, they have some business of monopolistic competition pattern and others have a perfect competition pattern. But these are the firms who are operating in monopoly and oligopoly. They are always have an advantage of taking the highest price and on most of the profit. Okay, so today's last topic for discussion is Five Forces by Mike Porter. And what is the idea of this framework which is over there? So see, whenever we talk about competition or whenever we talk about competition in any business, so there can be five different forms of competition which are possible, right? So here we are talking about competition in terms of rivalries or other firms who are operating in the same industry. But here we are talking in terms of competition which can be through a different product substitutes or other possible ways. Let me discuss about this in some detail. First and foremost, important competition about which we always think and always talk about is industry rivalry. And you are seeing it is in the center, right? So it is possible in each and every business, right? So two or three players are competing, five or seven different players are competing, thousand different players are competing, and there is an industry rivalry among all. And that is a very, very pure or common form of competition which we see all across. But there is can be another form of power which you can see. Why we are calling it power? Because that is the power which is impacting the decisions taken by one firm. So bargaining power of suppliers is the another power, and I'm not considering it as a competition, but that is the power which is in the hands of suppliers to decide they want to sell the good to a particular manufacturer or not. And it happens in some industries. So in the pharmaceutical industry, or maybe in other industries, you will see there is a much bargaining power in the hands of suppliers, and supply of raw material is actually in the hands of limited suppliers, and they have a power to bargain about the prices, negotiate, and they can get a better deals from their manufacturers. there is a bargaining power of buyers as well, right? So in some industries where there is a most competition nowadays in e-commerce or even in mobile phone industry, there is a much bargaining power in the hands of buyers. And these buyers can be of both categories. Buyers can be a middleman, distributors, wholesalers, retailers, and they can be the end consumers. But there is a much power in their hands due to, like, there are more suppliers and less buyers, you can say, this or like this. And in those cases you see there's a much power in the hands of buyers, because they can choose any buyer, any supplier, or any seller of that product, right? There is a threat of new entrants as well. See, this is the threat which applies in each and every industry. So like, there is already much competition in the fashion industry, clothing industry, but there is always a trade-off for new entrants who can come up in the market and disrupt the market. That is a possible case. What can be a threat of substitutes? In some cases it may happen like, your business is not actually getting impacted by your competitors business, but it is getting impacted by the substitutes, right? So can anybody try to give me an example how substitute product can impact your business? Any idea about this? Okay, do you understand what are the substitutes? Okay, let me quickly give you a clarity on this. So when we talk about substitutes, in a sense, like, there are some substitutes available for your products, and if these substitutes will come in the market, or if the substitutes will be there, people no more require your product. That can be a possible case, right? So one such example that can be very much relevant here, I would like to quote here. So in 2000, around 1998, 2000, what has happened? So I think all of you are aware about Sony, Nikon, and Canon, and even there are two, three more companies who manufactures the cameras, DSLR cameras, and some good quality cameras that can be used for capturing quality images, and that can be used for professional purposes, right? So majorly being designed for professional purposes, but being used by end consumers as well. Means other users also use it in their routine life. So what has happened during 1998 or 2000? Suddenly, the sale of Nikon, Sony, and then Canon, and some other players who are operating globally in the camera business, their sale got declined, and they have seen a sudden competition from the substitute products. And what were those substitute products? Mobile phones. So what has happened, when Nokia and then this Motorola and some other firms who have come up with a good camera quality? So what has happened? The users, in a sense, not the professional users, but the users like us who don't actually are in the profession of photography, but they uses for this cameras for capturing the images in their daily lives. So what has happened when the good camera quality has been introduced by Nokia? So suddenly the substitute product has given competition to the camera companies, and the camera sale actually got declined. So this may happen. So you are selling a kind of product where the substitutes are coming in the market, and this threat of substitute can give you a competition. And one can never imagine a kind of substitute will come which can completely replace your products in the market. It may happen. It has happened in the history of some businesses where they gone out of business because substitute products were having much more power than the products which they are selling. So these are the five forces about which Mike Porter has talked in much detail, and he has also talked about some of the strategies that can be used to deal with all these five forces. But due to paucity of time, I can't discuss about those strategies in much details. But I would definitely recommend you to go through this article. You will find it very easily on internet. You just type this five forces by Michael Porter, and you will find a complete article about this. Just read about how you can use different strategies to deal with this, right? So that's all from my side today. And as a usual, like I always put key takeaways or some important points in the end of the slide. So You can refer to these points when I will be sharing the slides with you. Now, any questions in this point in time? Anything you would like to ask or want to add on from your end? Okay, so far so good. No
Yes,
questions.
yeah, I have one.
Yeah, Bora,
I
please go
don't
ahead.
think that it's a question, but it's a need.
Yeah, please tell me.
Um, I expected to hear something legal competition in
Bora, I couldn't hear your complete question. Yeah, can you
legal
come again?
competition and illegal competition, not legal competition.
Okay, legal competition and not so legal competition. Okay, okay. Right. Okay. So anyway, that was something which was not being covered in this, but let me just throw some light on this. When we talk about competition, so definitely there is a possibility there is a legal competition and there is a illegal competition. Though there are some laws which prevent illegal competition in a sense. So if you are operating in a very organized business, in a very organized sector like telecom industry, or maybe you are operating in the petroleum industry, or if you're operating in the healthcare industry, so there are multiple laws, rules and regulations which prevents the illegal competition. But it is still in each and every business, maybe there are some exceptions, but in most of the business you will see there is some form of illegal competition which happens. So if you want to talk about legal competition, we all know all those forms of competitions which is under the boundary of law. These are the legal competitions. So if you are doing a business, so suppose two competitors are competing with each other, both are registered under Companies Act, both are following the rules and regulations of the industry, and they are doing their business and they are competing with each other, that is a legal competition. But what is illegal competition? So this pilferage, this copying of materials, this duplication of the products and brands, and all forms of competition where if you are, even there are some norms or rules and regulations for advertising as well, right? You cannot advertise by directly by directly keep telling the name of other competitors in your advertisement. That is also a law which prevents it. So what is the idea here? All those forms of competition where you are using illegal means, where you are trying to just get a benefit of the situation by fooling people or by cheating with the consumers, by not telling the or but not using the right means of doing the business, then that can be comes under illegal competition. And definitely illegal competition also impacts the businesses who are doing it fairly, or those who are following all the norms. But there are some norms to protect businesses from illegal competition. And why I was not talking about illegal competitions, because if you follow the marketing principles, or if you follow the philosophy of marketing never teaches to do the illegal competition. Marketing always believes in fair competition and fair way of doing the business. So that is the reason I was not talking about it, but
Yeah,
it was a good question.
thank you. I want you to focus too on marketing strategy, legal.
Marketing strategy.
What is legal? What is illegal in marketing strategy? In example,
Okay, okay.
when you use your competitor strategy
Mm-hmm.
to compete with them, uh,
Mm-hmm.
it, we are in an ethical
Mm-hmm.
approach,
Okay.
ethical perspective.
Got it,
Thank
got
you.
it. I got your point. So what I will be doing anyway, I have a different plan to for tomorrow, but as you mentioned this, so I'll come up with some of the strategies that can be used to compete with the competitors. So there are different strategies which are being used by the marketers: flank strategy, direct attack strategies, bypass strategy. That these are the common strategies which are available in the literature. So today we already run out of time. So tomorrow what I'll do, I'll come up with some of these strategies in terms of competition. We'll discuss this and then we'll move ahead with the further agenda for tomorrow, right?
Thank you. Thank you.
Right. Okay, Bora. Okay, so I'm not actually running a quiz today because we already run out of time. It's already 8:58. I don't want to hold on you here because all of us are busy in our personal lives as well. So tomorrow we'll continue with our quiz, which is based on today's block, and then we'll have a further discussion tomorrow, right? So thanks for joining, and I wish you a good evening and good night from mine because it's a night time in India. Thanks for joining.
Thank you.
Tomorrow it is
Thank you.
yeah. Tomorrow
Thank you. Good evening too.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.